Alright, so y'all have been begging me for Love and Marriage Huntsville, and across the last 2 weeks I have finally caught up with all the episodes, and this shit done ran my blood pressure up through the roof with the naivete and the stupidity that I almost wish I hadn't watched it. Catch these teas. I've been gone for a minute with Love and Marriage Huntsville, but I'm back with the jump off just in time for the reunion, and I think the final episode or the final 2 episodes, whatever the case may be, but I am all caught up and we got a whole lot to talk about. Instead of me going episode by episode like I normally do, because we had so many episodes to catch on, I'm just gonna go couple by couple and catch y'all up to speed with where I'm at and how I'm feeling. So let me start with Tisha and Marsau Scott. Here's the reality of the situation with Tisha and Marsau. The writings are on the wall that Marsau has stepped out on Tisha before. Now, the only difference between Marsau and Martell is the fact that Marsau has not been caught. Here's the thing that's bothering me, right? What Martell did, essentially, if not true, was disrespectful to Marsau's marriage. It has caused chaos and confusion in Marsau's household, and it has also caused public embarrassment to Marsau and Tisha, and it's slanderous, right? With all that considered, in all things constant, Martell would have got his ass whooped. Had Tisha came home and said Marsau was out there, you know, saying I'm sleeping around with other men, Martell is out there saying I got a baby from another man, Martell is saying I had an abortion from one of my jump offs, Marsau would drive around to where Martell is and try to whoop his ass. But all of a sudden now, Martell says something as damaging as you're cheating on your wife, and instead of checking him, Marsau decides to shut the fuck up and try to work on the friendship. Yeah, you don't want to upset Martell any further because you know that Martell is holding on to a skeleton and you don't want him to open that closet. Tisha, I hope that you are in a position where you are choosing to voluntarily be naive about the situation simply because it has not come to you. I can respect the fact if Tisha's putting on her big girl panties and saying, listen, I don't know what my husband is out there doing, but the shit hasn't come into my face and it better not. That needs to be your position versus this, my husband has not done anything, my husband is not doing this, because it is obvious. It is obvious that something has transpired. Your mama ain't no fool. I love the scene when Miss Wanda went out to eat and said, listen, Martell, I'm 55 years old. I ain't no damn fool. It might not be 20, but it might be 1. Now, when it comes to when it comes to Tisha and Melody's relationship, the issue that I have with Melody and Martell is the fact that they shit is all fucked up. And instead of just sitting in their misery on their own altogether, now Martell want to throw Marsau under the bus, and now Melody want to be on this, and your husband is out cheating on you too. It's like, why are you trying to make this lady feel bad just so you can have somebody in the feel bad boat with you? Here's the thing. Y'all cannot get mad that people are discussing y'all infidelity, laughing about it, reveling in it, digging their hands in it and turning it all around, doing a hokey pokey, screaming and shout. You can't get mad about it because y'all have laid the shit out there for public scrutiny. God damn it, y'all have built an entire show based on y'all damn infidelity. You are famous right now for all the wrong damn reasons, and you cannot have it both ways. You can't exploit it for fame but then be mad because people talking about it and it hurt your feelings. Pick one. Now I want to talk about Miss Wanda real quick. I love Miss Wanda, but Miss Wanda is dead ass wrong for all the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? Now, one area that one thing that I respect about Miss Wanda is she said, come hell or high damn water, you ain't finna treat my daughter any kind of damn way. And she said, I know my child. Tisha does not have the personality type to stand up for herself, but just as long as her mama is around, trust and believe, motherfucker, you gonna have something to answer to. And I think that's the issue that Marsau is having with Miss Wanda. Now, I will say this. Marcel is a better man than I ever, because I'd have cussed Miss Wanda ass the fuck out in my house. I'm sorry. There's a certain protocol and a certain level of respect that must be met when you are in somebody's house. But when we out in the street, at the restaurant, at the wine bar, it is all fair game. So shouts out to Marsau for not cussing out Miss Wanda. But Marsau, I'm not taking your side. I'm not taking your side just yet. Because here's the thing. Even though Miss Wanda is wrong the way she's going about it, she would not have to be wrong if you were not giving her a reason to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is obvious the things that you were doing is hurting Letitia. And I'm going to tell you something. Marsau actually hurt me, because the way he's conducting himself in this show as it relates to paying the bills and being there for the family, it touches on one of my triggers, and it's a huge issue that I experienced with my own relationship with my father. Dear black men, it does not make you a good husband or a good father because you simply go to work and you pay the bills and you provide. It sounds as if many of you did not have a father who did that, and I sympathize and empathize with you, but you do not get a golden star for doing the bare minimum. I'm sorry, children did not ask to be here. It is a responsibility of two responsible adults who had the kids to not only providing parents out there, family members out there, people of all colors, providing food, roof, and clothing is actually the bare minimum. That is the bare minimum. When we start talking about pouring the things into a child that makes them a productive, successful member of society, it has nothing to do with a roof, food, and clothes. It has everything to do with attention paid. How did you pour into this child? What ideals did you put in this child? Did you fortify your child emotionally, mentally, psychologically? Were you there when your child was having a bad day to talk to them, help them navigate through the world? Did you spend one-on-one time with your children and drive them through McDonald's and get them a Happy Meal and get to know their friends and ask them how their day was? Those are the differences between how an individual is successful, happy, and productive, or how they end up being Martell Holt. And that's just true tea. Look at Martell. He might not have had the best housing, clothes, and food, but he had housing, clothes, and food, and he turned out to be what he is. That's because he had nobody to spend time and pour into him. All right? Moving right along. We're going to go to Tisha and Kimmi, because y'all know I got to say the best for last. Kimmi and Maurice. Now, y'all know I love Kimmi and Maurice. Kimmi is my absolute favorite character on this show. Here is the thing, right? Maurice is swimming an uphill battle where he cannot win for losing. For one, we get on black men so many times, the ones who just so easily don't fight for their kids, right? Oh man, my baby mama tripping. I called to get her, but she didn't answer the phone, so fuck it, I ain't finna fight with her. That's what a lot of men do. Here it is, you got Maurice ready to move hell and earth to get his damn child, and I commend him for that. However, the man can't win for losing, because now we looking at him saying, damn, but you doing way too much. Yeah, we want you to move heaven and earth, but we also want you to move heaven and earth for Kimmi too at the same damn time and figure it out. And it's damn near impossible. And what do you do? Now I'm going to tell you something. I don't have all the answers. Okay, and I'm comfortable saying that I don't have the answer, because this is a very sticky situation. However, I do know that the answer is not to take money out that lady household, meaning Kimmi. The answer is to not take money out this lady household to provide for two other able-bodied individuals just because you want to get your son. Like Kimmi said, you got tunnel vision, and every and anything else around you is collateral damage. Second of all, Kyra has got you by the balls. She's got you by the balls because you are so afraid of her doing anything to keep you from your son, which I respect. Because he's putting his son first. He's like, fuck that. My first priority is my child, and to show my son that I'm fucking fighting for him. But not to the point where Kyra gets a blanket pass to be disrespectful to Kimmi. And Kimmi is not asking you to run up on Kyra and chokehold her. What she's asking you to do is say, wait a goddamn minute. You have the right to feel however the hell you want to feel, but you have to set the standard, Maurice, that her speaking any bad way about Kimmi is unacceptable. And in a perfect world, you would have some sort of consequence to be able to reinforce that position. But since you don't, you're going to have quite a few arguments and some uncomfortable days. And you just might have to have, a summer without Monster and let her do her whole retaliation thing. Or you might have to go through the courts in order to keep her at bay in terms of withholding your son as means of punishment. But you have to let her know, because there is no use in you solving one problem by getting your son and creating another by having an unhappy wife, and then now Kimmi's got to potentially run into this woman and this man in this doggone grocery store while you paying the bills for them to stay. And if I was Kyra's husband, bitch, I wouldn't want your handout. I wouldn't want it. I don't know what man in their right damn mind would live in any house that another goddamn man is paying for. Now, I could understand you providing them some sort of assistance as to getting there, but bitch, I'm not finna be paying for 2 households. That's not right. That just is not right. And I know Maurice is in a hard situation with these bitter women and these bitter baby mamas. And it's obvious that Kyra feels away because you got a husband and you still mad. It would seem to me that at the point in which you get digged down and got a whole new husband, that you don't even have the emotional bandwidth to harbor any damn bitterness and be upset. I don't know. It looks like on an upcoming episode, Monster is about to say he does not want to live with Maurice. And if that is the truth and he doesn't want to come to Huntsville, then that should be honored. This is where co-parenting is very important. And I get it. No parent wants the step-parent to take primary custody or primary responsibility for raising their child. However, this is the time now where Maurice needs to be forming a very tight-knit relationship with Kyra's new husband, the same way he's trying to get Kyra and Kimmi to form a close relationship so he can help parent from the male perspective through this stepfather. Now, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If you're expecting Kimmi to do the same thing with Kyra, then it should be expected that you should be able to do the same thing with this man and possibly reconcile the fact that this man may have to be the primary male figure in your child's life because you opted to leave. I honestly think a more realistic situation would be for you to move closer to Monster than for you to try to move Monster's family to where you are. But that's just what I got. I'm actually interested in exploring Kimmi and Maurice's situation more because that's a real world problem. Like, they are in a circular real world problem that needs some figuring out, unlike this other bullshit we about to talk to, which is Martell and Melody. Listen, before some of y'all get on this, why is he always attacking black women train? Let me go ahead and attack Martell really quickly. Martell is a piece of shit. Martell is a broken man. Martell is all kind of fucked up. Martell is half raised. Martell is a narcissist. Martell is fundamentally flawed. Okay, there, are y'all satisfied? That being said, Melody, you equally as fucked up. Okay, I hate what it is that Martell is putting Melody through, but the question that you have to ask yourself at this point is, why do you stay? It is utterly fucking ridiculous for Melody to put the responsibility of her happiness on Martell. Essentially, what Melody is saying is, my marriage would be happy and my life would be perfect if my husband would stop cheating and treat me right. Okay, I get it. And in a perfect world, that would happen. However, Martell has showed you time and time again that he is not capable of being what it is you need. So my question is, at what point, Melody, do you reconcile the chips and move the fuck on? 4 kids and all. Then you went out and had another damn baby from this man, further digging yourself in this goddamn hole of a marriage. And I feel like you did it from a project girl's perspective, as to say, say he been messing with this girl for 4 years, but look, he really loved me because I just had another baby. Listen, lady, if that was your sick, twisted rationale, they wouldn't have been able to get me off the clinic table quick enough. I'd have found out I was pregnant, baby. I would have borrowed $300 from every bitch in Huntsville to get an abortion, and I'd have took that shit up with God at a later date and time. Okay. It's ridiculous. Why would you have another baby from this man in the midst of y'all, whatever, and quiet as it's kept? You can't be too fucked up. You can't be too fucked up over him cheating, and your marriage can't be in too much of shambles. You sitting up there letting that man fuck you raw, and you don't have that damn baby. Girl, the little birdie don't hit me and said that Martell has been messing with this girl for 4 years and they've been married for 5, and that they still messing around. Somebody done went and vandalized this girl car. It was down to the Facebook. Somebody done vandalized this doggone girl car, and it's obvious that Martell and her are still messing around. Melody, pack your bags and leave, okay? You got 4 kids. Y'all claim y'all got some money right now. You will get half of what's around there, plus child support and maybe even some spousal support. You are a very smart woman. Pack your damn bags, let your mama help you, and find you somebody who will love you for you. But see, it's sad because it looks like Melody has got 2 competing forces going on. She wants happiness, but she also wants fame. Because Melody got a little piece of ego on her too. Melody's got this southern woman thing, this need for everything to be perfect, this need for you to be the it girl. And the thing about it is there's a cost to everything. When I went to Florida State University and got my degree in economics, when people taught me that there's no such thing as a free lunch. You see what I'm saying? And unfortunately, because you don't have any talent in acting or anything interesting in your life as far as reality TV is concerned, other than the infidelity of you and your husband, this is the price that you now have to pay for the fame and fortune that you want. So my whole thing, in the words of Mama Evelyn, is if you're not prepared to do anything with your husband cheating, then let that man cheat in peace. Because if not, you soon will become the other woman. And Melody, you have become the other woman. And it is so pathetic sitting there watching you endure this and beg somebody to respect you when they don't. And here's the issue with Martell. And ladies, listen to me. Not all men cheat. But there is a certain group of men out there who fundamentally at their core believe that there is nothing wrong with having a wife and something on the side. Believe it or not, more men than not feel that way. So what it is, Melody, is that you are asking of monogamy from somebody at their core, most fundamental belief does not believe in that. Thus, he is incapable and not equipped to give you what it is you want. What you need to find is a man who honestly feels like cheating on his wife is wrong. That's what you need to find. You got to understand, Martell grew up with no father. I don't know how many men he's seen his mom going in and out of the house with. He does not understand the sanctity of marriage, nor does he appreciate it, despite the fact that he says he wants to be a good dad and to be a good father and a good husband, because he did not have it. He cannot mimic what he did not have and what he did not see. He simply is not equipped. Not to mention, he's not equipped, he doesn't have the tools, he doesn't know what he doesn't know, and it doesn't make him a bad person. He is just a product of his upbringing, and it took him 20-something years to form these ideals and this base way of thinking. It may take him another 20 to get out of it. It may take him losing you to wisen up for the next damn woman. But mama, you are wasting your time sitting here bitching about a man that's not going to change. And it's not going to change because he's a bad person. He's not going to change because he does not know how to. And his core fundamental beliefs tell him that it is okay for him to have a wife and a woman on the side. So the onus is now on you to pick yourself up and put yourself together, mama, because you are teaching your daughter at her most formative of years how it is that a husband is supposed to treat a woman. And I know that you would not want your daughter to endure what it is that you are enduring. Not to mention, you're also teaching your sons the same thing indirectly. Now, don't get me wrong, Martell, it should be the primary person responsible for teaching these boys how to be men and how they're should treat women, but you're also subconsciously training your sons on how to treat a woman, because they're going to realize you're supposed to do and treat a woman like this, and she's supposed to respond the way my mama did. I'm supposed to cheat on her, and she's supposed to stay there. You don't want that, and you don't want your children to look back at this and ever look and think less of you for staying and using them as a reason why you're staying. You are making those kids thieves without their permission. I know that your older children would not look back and want you to be this unhappy in the name of them. Don't put that on their children. Pack your shit and leave, girl. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. And I'll talk to y'all hoes later. Bye.